Good morning.
Great morning. Welcome back to another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Great Thursday. Excited to continue to close out the week with you guys before we head into another Huddler in the hot seat tomorrow.
Way to go, Debbie Hammer, for being first in this morning. Nice to see you. Lainey Jones right behind her. Bang, bang. Sarah, all good stuff. Have to talk about yesterday and the feeling I get to see the machine working. Like, that was not my meeting. That was not my direction. That was me being a part of something happening. So give everybody some details.
Yeah, well, we got to go do a walkthrough at the YMCA in Sistrunk, where our third annual Women's Summit will be held in October. And we got to do the whole layout for the event. We got to coordinate food, drink, bartender, valet, parking situation, stage, seating, all of the logistics that go into putting the event together. And it was great. And as you said, it ran like a well-oiled machine. I mean, it's awesome to have a partner like the Y that does a great job in helping us with the setup. But then our team as well. Everybody was on top of it and grabbing this piece, that piece, and giving everybody's insight. And just like that, everything is in place for the event in October, and super excited to have everybody be a part of it.
We talk often about ownership, and I was just proud of everybody there. I don't know the woman's name who greeted us or was there when I was there in the morning, but when I got there, she on the way out said, "So what do you just like hang out with these guys?" Like, it's a good job for that, it's
Yes.
kind of neat. And then I have to tell you, one of the things that I look for in my life, I wrote about it in my book, is aha moments. I want to learn something every day. I want to be influenced every day. I'm on the lookout for it. Sistrunk Market was an aha bang in the head yesterday. Like, this thing exists, which was absolutely super cool. I'm not sure if
We happened to have great food while we were there. Like, shout out to Henry's Sandwich, because the sandwiches were absolutely off the charts. But yes, I mean, Sistrunk Marketplace is great. Gabby and I frequented there a bunch when Jules was first born, because it was a great place for us to be able to get out of the house. It was open air. It was easy for us to get the stroller in and out of and stuff like that. So it was great for us early. And that area just continues to grow. I mean, that's, the Y is just 5 minutes west of that on 6th. And, they've leveled that whole industrial complex that's across the street from Sistrunk Marketplace. So it's pretty cool to see the way that entire Flagler Village area just continues to grow, and that Sistrunk area particularly.
The particular mix of food that was in there, like, I could hang there for a while, drink a cocktail, have a beer. I can imagine when the garage doors are open and it's cool, it must be incredible. So shout out to
if
them.
it ever gets cool.
I mean, it was like yesterday when Jake and I were riding over to the Y, I said, "Oh, it's a little overcast. Let's drop the top." And then within like 11 seconds, it was like, not drop the top weather yet, just crazy. So great time with the team. It definitely inspired me.
A couple of shout outs to the crowd too. So after that, we had a great morning at the Y. We went to lunch. It was great. And then Sherry Cedar reaches out to me with a text message like, "Hey, what's that food service that you had mentioned before? Why do you use it? What are your thoughts on it or whatever?" And I said, "Let's hop on a phone call. Let's talk about it." And we ended up having like a 15-20 minute conversation about meal prepping, food prepping, app that I use to track macros and calories, and just kind of had a dialogue about the whole thing. And then she ended up using my referral code to join Eat the 80, and she's going to be using that now. So like, just you don't know if you don't ask. You know what I mean? And
Should I be asking? I don't know about Etho, whatever code,
I've
whatever.
told you about Eat the 80. Jake also has. I've told you guys about Eat the 80. It's a
I'd
simple
rather,
meal service that they delivered prepared meals. You microwave them. It's great. It's
I'd
straight
rather,
from the farm,
I'd
so you
rather
don't
have
have to find a
a
place.
Henry's chicken sandwich, to be
Right.
honest.
But
So
I mean,
I
that's
sent it
Eat
to,
the
I
80.
sent it the picture.
80%.
I sent it the picture to Helen, and she's like, "I guess you're not on your diet." And I go, "Oh no." So
So
who is
listen,
Christina? Is Christina new to the party? Christina
Christina has
McGuire.
been here for a couple days in a row now. I assumed
Cool.
she came in through you, but welcome to the Nudelberg Daily
Of
Huddle,
course,
Christina.
I'm
Super
aboard.
glad to have you a part of the group. And one more shout out to Scott Garber, who's asking me how my legs feel this morning. They're destroyed. F45 was a heavy, heavy lower body day. So great
Awesome.
stuff.
Great shout outs. Thank you for all being here. It's a great throwback Thursday. We're going to talk about some things that happened to me in 2012, which are relevant today. Stay tuned. Let's wake this thing up, Mr. Shea.
Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, time of thinking ahead. Come on.
Bang, bang. So, I use social media as a library. I'm just constantly breezing through it, trying to pull out nuggets. And I saw somebody post something yesterday about this voiceover, and they didn't know who it was. So I'm throwing it out to everybody. It's a dead giveaway, but it's really funny. So, Shay, show me the McDonald's.
If you're ordering McDonald's and your friend says they don't want fries, get them the fries. Or else,
You can both fuck off.
ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, I have not seen that iteration of it. That's really
So
funny.
if you don't know who that is, and I'm throwing it out to the huddle, who is that voiceover? It's a dead giveaway, the second half. But
I
there are
mean,
people who don't
people are.
know.
It's easy to draw. It's easy to know who the character is. Do you know the actor's name? Is the
Correct.
question.
Well, some people may not even know the character. I was talking to Helen's son Jake last night, and he said he's only in season one of that.
Ah,
And I was like, "Oh, so glorious, man! You're
right. What a great place to be.
it's so good." We were talking about family business and stuff like that, so it was very
So
relevant.
that is it's Brian Cox, correct? Is his
Brian
name?
Cox. It is Brian Cox. There he is. So he's 77, and he's been the golden voice since 2020. And I think he makes those commercials very unique and very distinct. And what an amazing voiceover. So anyway, in what I want to focus on today is the mindset of a learner. Like I know early in my career, I made a decision that I wanted to be a sponge. I wanted to learn. I know you, when you went to college and started working around other people, you just said, I'm going to take it all in, digest it, filter it, and put it together for myself. I found this video that just crushed it for me.
Here's how an elite learner in any domain thinks about skill building. Building skill takes time and effort. I will invest the time and be tenaciously persistent. That's the person talking to themselves. I understand that discomfort is part of the process. If I avoid discomfort, I prevent learning. I will make mistakes and they will teach me. I want feedback and coaching. That's the mindset of someone that's getting better every day. Don't have that mindset, and you're probably not going to do the work.
Bingo.
All of the things I've heard recently, he outlines, you got to do the work. There's going to be pain and discomfort, so setting out with a mindset to learn, I think is so significant. And the other side of it is be willing to unlearn. and understand that there is something new. And in order to let something in, you have to let something out. And so I
So
wanted
I
you to
think that's a
comment
great
on
point to make is that, if you're going to be an elite learner, then you constantly have to be open to the idea that what you currently know is wrong or outdated. And I think that's really not necessarily wrong anymore, but outdated. And I think the more like we enter into this world, like it was impossible for you 15 years ago to become Stanford educated without going to Stanford. You would have to go to Stanford, you'd have to enroll in classes, and that was the only way to get a Stanford education. Andrew Huberman is a Stanford professor, and he has a podcast and a newsletter and social channels that he uses to teach everything he teaches at Stanford. So you could become Stanford educated by
correct.
just following Andrew Huberman all the time. So the rate of information and the rate of change and the rate of studies is happening faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So in order to stay learned, in order to stay educated, in order to stay on top of the ball, if you will, you have to be willing to go, what I currently know is not actually the most up to date and most accurate information anymore.
So I picked a perfect motivational song, and then we're going to get into things that you can unlearn, things that you can learn. Shay, give me Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I was alone, I took a ride, I didn't know what I'd find. Another road where maybe I would see another side. Ooh, and then you suddenly see, ooh, and then you tell you about me every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't lie, you knew I wanna hold you.
So we're getting close to September if we're listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So great. So whoever our guest is on September 1st, which that is a Friday, that is, I think, Rich McMahon. That's I'm going to make it his walk-up song.
You don't have a choice but to have September as your walk-up song.
I'm going to take you back to 2012. Talk about unlearning, doing new things. 2012, Shay, show me throwback 2012. There were 200 million members on LinkedIn. Give you some scope. There's 950 million there now. I was in the 1% of most viewed profiles in 2012. Now, 1% of 200 million, I'll take that any day of the week, even if the numbers have grown and my percentage is 5 or 10% of 950 million, people just don't get it. They keep sending me shit. They keep pounding me with complete bullshit, fraud. It just doesn't make sense to me. You see it all the time, correct?
Yeah. I mean, the tactics of how to use it and how to leverage it, despite it having been around for over a decade now, and the philosophy to being successful has not changed, right? Like you got in 2012, you started to perfect the way to use it. It's iterated, but the fundamentals have not changed, right? It's personal, it's intentional, it's very curated, and it's daily work inside of the platform that allows you to leverage it that way. But just like everything, people are looking for the shortcut, people are looking for the fast track, people are looking for all of the easy ways to have the success, and it just doesn't work that way. And so whether it's, cold DMing 100 people a day, or whether it's trying to sell through your content, whatever those things are that people are trying to sell as the silver bullet, it just proves that it doesn't work. And that if you stick to the foundations of using it the right way, what happened, what worked in 2012 is continuing to work in 2023.
Correct. So everything that I taught you when you came in the business in 2020,
Yep.
you came
19.
into
It was 19.
19 when you came into the business world.
Sure.
With us. In 19, I gave you a roadmap. That roadmap still works. I was fortunate because of the awareness I created, and I stuck to that game plan. I got a meeting with Gary Vee and his chief heart officer, Claude Silver. Gary is still telling people, as am I, Shay, show me Gary Vee.
Look, we've been talking about this over and over, and a lot of you just continue to not believe it or understand, but the facts are real. This headline is no bullshit. LinkedIn is winning. It's fucking killing for people, and not just lawyers and financial advisors and B2B SaaS salespeople. If you're in B2B and you're not fucking making content on LinkedIn, you're fucking missing out on opportunities. Like, you're doing cold calling and going to conferences and having meetings, and yet the content on this platform can create the business you're hoping for. But I'm talking about people that are selling fitness equipment and wine and t-shirts and branded hats and coffee and everything that you would do on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. The shit's popping like crazy on LinkedIn, and yet people continue to fucking not listen. Please go get yours. The getting is happening on LinkedIn. It's real. It's a real platform, real engagement, real virality potential. Take LinkedIn serious. It's not fucking LinkedIn 2013 anymore. It's a fucking social network.
So it's funny that he ends it with it's not 2013 anymore. It worked for me and him in 2013. So it's so funny that it has iterated. There's more people there, but it's a social network. It's not a selling platform. Just this morning, I get this. So I want to show people what this is just this morning, right? Hey, love to connect and learn more about On the Ball. What don't you know? What can't you access about On the Ball? Always interested in having more business coaches in my network. Exactly the type of coach we partner with, so
at rocket level, hope we can connect.
So I do just for shits and giggles. I go to her, right? And it's all about some pre-planned bullshit that she wants to sell the coaches. Like,
Shay, throw it back up though. Let's coach through this. Let's talk about why this is such. Everything in this connection request is about her. I love to connect and learn more about On the Ball. I'm always interested in having more business coaches in my network. They're exactly the type of partner we partner with. It's all about her.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Well done, Shay. It's perfect. And that's exactly right. And so, like, where people are completely missing the mark is that if you're going to send a connection request and you're going to add a note, good for you. You're already in the top 10% of people, because most people don't send a note at all. But then you completely ruin that tactic by making it all about you and not about the other person.
So I made a list of all of the bad examples of LinkedIn messages, just the inbound that I get. They're either generic or vague. There's no context. Like, I found you on LinkedIn. Okay, you're a rocket scientist. Hello, I'm a financial consultant. Let me show you what I do. Right.
The sales pitch, right? Like the first one is the generic and vague, which to me is, would love to add you to my network. Thank you. That means absolutely nothing to me. Like, you could send that to every person inside of LinkedIn. That has absolutely no value. The no context would be like, I found you here. Okay, well, what made you hit connect then? You could find lots of people. People send me all the time. Well, LinkedIn suggested you as a connection. Well, why did you listen to LinkedIn? Like, what made you actually hit the connection button? Give me some context and some understanding.
So a lot of it is automated. A lot of it is, hey, listen, the first thing I'm going to do is go to your profile. And if your profile is bullshit, you haven't posted in forever, I know that you're a robot, or what do they call it? A bot or some kind of bullshit, right. Unrelated connection. Let's connect. I see you work in such and such a space. Are you interested in learning about dairy products? Like, what? So I have so many. I have a file. Shay, show the email. This is not only happening in LinkedIn. This is why the coaching is good. Hope this message finds you well. I like to share with you our innovative. I want to take your time. I'm knocking on your door and saying, hey, listen, I don't give a shit about you. I just want the time to, hey, you can focus. This
It's
is,
funny. And I wrote about this today in my post, right? Like the idea of influence and having influence over people, like it's a skill set. And whether you're in sales and business development or whether you're in leadership, you really have no control over the outcome. Zero. Because the outcome is based on somebody else making the movement. They have to act. The person has to say yes. The person has to choose to buy. The person has to take action in the thing that you're asking them to do. So the only thing you can do is create influence in them doing that. And the first key to having influence over somebody else is building trust, is
yeah,
having some kind of trust and connection with them. So if off the rip, you are talking about yourself and ruining the trust and connection with somebody, you're setting yourself so far behind the 8 ball in order to have success. It's unbelievable.
so inbound, I still get a lot of requests to learn LinkedIn like a pro. It's what I created, a zillion years ago. It is the foundation of, I think, if you're going to be in the business world, you need to dominate LinkedIn. And it's not hard. It's a process. It's a system. And there was only a couple ways to get involved. And I'll give Jake a lot of credit because Jake said to me, Dad, why don't you do a pod? And I go, what's a pod? Like, what are you talking about? He said, take a minimum of 5 people, put them in a pod, coach them for a month, speed them through the course, give them the LinkedIn like a pro video, and do it at a price that everybody can do. And so I'm doing that at his suggestion. Me personally, I'm taking 1 month. We're starting September 20th. There'll be 4 45-minute coaching calls. They'll be back up in video. They'll be on demand like you would. And so it is the only time that someone's going to get a chance to get me for just a month. It's just not the way I package myself. But because I can spread it with either a minimum of 5, a maximum of 10. So there'll be 10 people in the train. That train's going to take off. And my commitment to those people is that at the end of a month, they will be absolute wizards at LinkedIn. I'm doing it because Jake thinks it's a good idea, because anybody can spend the $1,000 that it'll cost to do that. Go to your boss, put it on a credit card, figure out how to do it, because this will set you up for fourth quarter. So September 20th is when it will happen. You will see me talking about it in LinkedIn. I will be gone most of the month of September. That's why we're doing it. What are your thoughts on it, Mark?
I see your raise and I will match, sir.
Get out.
So,
What?
if you're gonna do a pod, I'm gonna do a pod. Fuck that. Wait a minute.
No.
Bullshit? A bullshit?
So
So you
What?
get to choose. Who do you want to learn from? You want to learn from Steve who
Oh.
taught me, or you want to learn from me? No,
Wow.
I'm already doing that for an organization. I've
So
actually
here's the thing. It just cost me $1,000 because Helen wants in.
right.
You go, Helen. I'm so happy because you need
She
to learn.
wants in with Mark.
So there's a few different, I think there's a few different options for people, right? There's the Steve Nudelberg pod. I've actually, because there was so much traction from my presentation to CEA, I've offered this opportunity to CEA exclusively, saying, hey, I will do a CEA focus pod for you guys to teach LinkedIn, do it in a month to get everybody up and running. And I'm happy to do that same thing for some other organizations, or just for 5 or 10 people that want to be involved with me. So lots
me,
of different opportunities.
It's a minimum of 5. It doesn't go until we get 5. I already spoke to somebody yesterday who was sort of interested in working with me, and the traditional 3-month, no matter what the fee was just out of scope for her. I said, let's start here and then worry about what happens after the month. If you're driving new revenue, you may decide to reinvest in yourself, and that's fine. There's no commitment after the month. But in that month, we will walk you through LinkedIn, learning LinkedIn like a pro. You will have increased pipeline. So it's super, super value packed. I'm a giver. I talk about it in my book. Give to get. I'm going to give. So we will email everybody in the huddle a flyer. Even if it's not for you, share it with somebody else who if you tell them, if you do this, I've been doing this since 2012. I made this guy on the screen. It's me. So, if he outsells me, I'll be very pissed.
I love it. It's a great idea. I love the fact that this is a hot topic right now, that Gary Vee is pushing it still, and that we have the opportunity to get everybody a crash course in 1 month to get up and running and be operating on LinkedIn like an absolute pro and do everything you need to do to be successful in the platform.
And here's what's really interesting. When you act like a pro in LinkedIn, people notice. And what's fabulous for us is, oh, you must be working with On the Ball.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, people are popping up and they go, oh, you must be working with them because you get it. I see you. I feel you. I want to be part of what you're talking about. So thank you for the opportunity to share. This is generally not a pitch platform. I'm not interested in pitching.
I don't think it's a pitch now. I think it's an opportunity for people to learn. We talked about having a learner's mindset. If you are thinking about learning or you need to learn, then here's an opportunity for you. It's great stuff.
And so your company, you want to do it with 2 or 3 people. This pod idea is pretty cool. We'll have it all on a screen together. We'll do it once a month and then, once a week. And then you'll have access to me or Mark during that month. And let's see if we can get everybody using LinkedIn the right way. So
let's go.
Let's go.
Excited for Huddler in the Hot Seat tomorrow. Is going to be a very special football episode, entrepreneurial episode, NLI, just all that kind of stuff. Just really, really good conversation. So
yeah, these guys already have their own platform on LinkedIn, on social media. They're crushing it. John Brenkus, you may remember from ESPN doing sports science. They're fun. They're great. Rob Vaca is a friend, a client. He's one of the coolest entrepreneurs I know. I've been involved in a bunch of deals with him. He's one of those guys that the first time I met him, he sent me a pair of Ferragamo shoes. Guys,
the best. Awesome. You guys have a great Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Huddler in the Hot Seat. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business.